predictions are, I think you'd all be brave to go against Tekkz, wouldn't you? You look a bit silly if you don't predict Tekkz and then he wins, considering the form he's been on. So I'm going to go Tekkz for that reason, but we have to acknowledge, obviously, as you guys have, Stokes has scored plenty of goals past Tekkz in the past.
I will say this. If Stokes is able to beat Tekkz in this tournament, that would be 2 wins. In this tournament, he's beat him once before in a Swiss stage. You got to say that Stokes, if anyone, has his number. With that being said, I'm still going with F2Tekkz. But you got to say, like, this is clearly causing a matchup problem for him.
Yeah, a great opportunity for Rebel Stokes to silence the doubters here. In this game against F2Tekkz, if you're a fan of football on YouTube, you will know this is a repeat of the Wembley Cup final last year in 2018, which was won 1-0 by F2. But it's Rebel who have taken the lead here in the form of Tom Stokes, 1-0 up inside the first 3 minutes. What a start.
He could not have asked for a better beginning.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Neymar getting the strike. Looked relatively easy to cut Tekkz open there for Rebel Stokes. And that game, of course, we were alluding to in the Wembley Cup final. The winning goal, do you know who it was scored by?
Tell me.
An icon, David Trezeguet.
Definitely an icon.
That's not a bad stat, is it? David Trezeguet scored for Rebel FC in that game. But it is Tom Stokes, now known as Rebel Stokes, representing them against F2. And they've got the lead here. The lads were just debating whether it was good to go up against Tekkz or not and what time you want to score, but getting an early goal is definitely going to do wonders for Stokes' confidence. He should believe that he can win this game based on previous experience and certainly based on the Swiss format. Interviewing him earlier, he said that he just doesn't always beat them when it matters. This is his chance to change that.
It's definitely going to make for a good start to this matchup. Kind of opens the game up right away because Tekkz has to think, I want to get a goal back as soon as possible. And Stokes is known as an attacking player. And in their previous game, to put 9 goals past Tekkz over 2 legs, that's impressive. Because we often don't talk about Tekkz defense, but it's one of the most underrated portions of his game, one of those assets to his game. He doesn't typically concede many goals, and that's why he's been winning tournaments. We always focus on his creativity when attacking and forget about the quality that he has in the midfield and in the defense.
Reference to substitution that was just made there. We saw Marcelo make way for Luka Modric, I believe for Stokes, meaning that he's probably put Ruud Gullit left back again, which we've seen him do before, to stop that back post cross option for Tekkz.
And that was a creative setup with the El Tornado. I know that we see that skill used quite frequently for flicking the ball up and whipping in crosses, but he did it in a reversed direction, which is harder to predict. You're just not going to see it nearly as often as the traditional El Tornado when you're running down the lines.
Here's Luka Modric finding Patrick Vieira, his centre midfield partner. Virgil van Dijk, a lot of ex-Premier League and current Premier League talent there. Neymar on the ball here, finds space for Stokes. Good tackle from Rafael Varane for F2Tekkz. He's got the ball with Sergio Ramos now at right back. He's going to go inside to Rio Ferdinand. Varane over to Marcelo, working it across this back 4. Now into Mbappe, who finds Gullit. Gullit now looking for a return pass to Kylian Mbappe. Is he going to keep it on? It's just too far in front of him there. And Stokes regains possession. It's been a good start for the game. For Rebel Stokes. He'll be very happy with what he's seen so far. Tekkz not really posing any problems yet, Mike.
Yeah, a bit uncharacteristic of Tekkz to have an unforced error. And even the play before that, the tackle from Varane seemed to be kind of wild, like he was chasing it down. It worked out for him, but it was more aggressive than I'm used to seeing with Tekkz on the defensive end.
Great stuff there from Cristiano Ronaldo for Stokes, just overrunning it in the end and losing possession. And now it's the other Cristiano Ronaldo for Tekkz, who eventually plays it back in defence. Tekkz not in any rush here, happy to switch it across the defence, find some space and move this ball quickly. Neymar on the ball, needs to keep it in, he does, up against his defender. Good tackle from Patrick Vieira. Sergio Ramos dispatches the ball to R9 Ronaldo. Overplaying it a little bit, but still Stokes on the ball.
And if you see how Stokes plays defense too, he's looking to crowd out space, he's aggressive. He's not giving F2Tekkz this pedestal that a lot of players kind of face when they match up against them, where they're thinking, oh, this is F2Tekkz, I've got to play different, I can't make these mistakes, I got to be really careful, and they lose some of that assertiveness.
Ooh. Oh, what a first-time cross that was. Yeah, it fascinates me, this matchup between these two guys. Obviously, both British guys, both on good form, Tekkz on exceptional form this year, but the differences are quite apparent as well. I think there's about 8 years between them. You've got a guy in Rebel Stokes who's been on the scene for a long, long time. Been playing, since literally Tekkz would have been probably about 8 years old, I think, when Stokes started playing competitively. But you've got Tekkz who's won a lot of trophies, which isn't something that Stokes can say. He's maybe more hungry, despite being older, How does Tekkz keep that hunger going? That's what I'm fascinating to know. It is Stokes in the box here with Mbappe, dispossessed, but gets it back. Mbappe still on the ball then, goes back to Luka Modric, into Patrick Vieira here. Is he going to get a shot off? Plays it first time. A very important block from the defender.
And just to touch on Tom Stokes being a veteran, I actually matched up against him in the Virgin Gaming finals in the round of 16. Unfortunately, I actually lost to Tom Stokes, but this is 2011.
Yeah.
And then he took some time off as well, and he's kind of made a return. This is the resurgence of Tom Stokes into the competitive scene, full on into the competitive scene.
So that's 8 years ago, so Tekkz would have been 9 years old when that matchup happened. Unbelievable. Does that make you feel old, Mike?
It doesn't make me feel young. Thanks, Ben. I think you're older than me, though.
I think so. I think so. Right, heard it on the ball. Enough said about that. Oh no, Ronaldo trying to get in front of his defender. Maybe a suggestion of a foul there by Varane, but ref says no. Marcelo gets it now at left back for Tekkz. And the thing about Tekkz is, we've said it before, I'll say it again, you can never write him out. Even if it was 4-5-0 to Stokes, I still would not think he had a chance of getting back in the second leg. So plenty of time here for Tekkz. Pull it into Vieira, to Ronaldo, back to Vieira. So 1-2-3, Ronaldo finds space, gets the shot off. Interestingly, he went near post. I think he was predicting some keeper movement to the back post, Mike.
It didn't look like he connected properly on that. I don't know if he mistimed the shot or if it took maybe a tad bit of a deflection. It definitely didn't come out properly. Definitely not the plan. That was not part of the plan. But we are seeing Tekkz get into those attacking final third areas on the pitch a little more frequently here as the game's gone on.
Ronaldo dragging the ball back but losing it. Crowded out by the gegenpress of Tekkz's boys in the Liverpool kit. Ruud Gullit got an option inside. He does go to Neymar, who goes to Patrick Vieira, who switches it across. Tekkz really looking to utilise that switch of play in this game. Ronaldo back inside to Vieira. Again, switching it to the other flank. Nice little flick through from Vieira, looking for R9 Ronaldo, but he overplays it once more, and Stokes can come forward. Ramos. Virgil van Dijk into Modric, who came on as a substitute for Marcelo, in a little bit of a change-up that was done instantaneously. As soon as Stokes got that goal, he made that change inside the first 3 minutes of the game. Ruud Gullit. Mbappe comes inside. Ronaldo hits it first time for Tekkz. First real shot hit with any kind of intent from Tekkz, and it was off target.
Hey, you got to give credit to Stokes. His defense has been solid. We haven't seen any mistakes from him yet. Nothing clear-cut. He's making Tekkz work for everything.
Stokes just getting away with a long ball there. He seems to know what he's doing because he found his man and he's created an attack out of nothing. The clock against him, it was approaching half-time. You can see the stats there, both players with 2 shots, 1 on target each. Very tight. Not a lot of clear-cut chances for either player, but it is Rebel Stokes with the lead right now against F2Tekkz inside the half-time period of the first leg here. It's a 2-legged console final. The winner of this guaranteeing themselves a minimum of £30,000, and they'll be going through to face the winner of the PlayStation side, Maestro, in a console final for £50,000. Sorry, a cross-console final, I should say. And of course, a lot of points up for grabs. If you win this game, regardless of what happens in the cross-console final, you've got 1,500 Global Series ranking points, which is probably a bigger deal for Stokes than it is for Tekkz, but Stokes is actually doing pretty well on that account anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it solidifies that he's going to be in the top 16. And that's important. There's still events left when you're looking at E-Nations, where Tekkz will be taking part. You got E-Champions League. We also have a couple LQE events. So there's some points up for grab. You want to make sure that you're guaranteed.
Ronaldo, oh, he finds space beautifully for Tekkz. Goes to Neymar, his Brazilian compatriot, who turns his way out of trouble, beats 2 men. Eventually tackled by the resilient Stokes defence.
And F2Tekkz had him after the McGeady spin. He did need a couple of those La Croqueta skill move sessions. It didn't really open up the space properly. It took him away from goal. He was already in a very direct area on the pitch. And the McGeady spin's not commonly used as a skill move. And that's another reason that it caught Stokes off guard. That's something that Tekkz does better than almost anyone. Him and FIFA Houston might be 2 guys that you can really look at if you want to see skill moves used in a variety of different scenarios and situations all over the pitch.
Yeah, you could say he's got a whole textbook of skills at his disposal, and he uses them at any time he wants. You never really know what he's going to do. How important is it, Mike, to really learn every skill that's in the game. Would you advise that to someone to study them, or would you tell them just to learn a kind of key portfolio of skills before they try and learn every one?
You definitely shouldn't start out trying to learn every single skill in the book.
Chance for Stokes to make it 2-0, and just like that, Rebel Stokes finds himself 2 goals up against the main man, F2Tekkz, who's looking like he's struggling. Not for the first time against Rebel Stokes.
It's just solid build-up play. You see a La Coqueta pass across, Cruyff, right place, right time, slightly turned his body, finesse shot, back corner, 2-0. And this is starting to put some more pressure on F2Tekkz.
How important is it, Mike, for Tekkz to get a goal in this first leg?
I think Tekkz, as long as he gets 1 goal, if he's able to keep this at 2-1, and there's a lot of time left, he'll be happy with that. And he did.
Oh, it's going to be going in on the rebound, surely. Patrick Vieira rising like a salmon.
He heard you talking, Spence.
Yeah, it's straight.
F2 said, all right, we're going to kick this in right now. So, like, he's back in the game. Momentum's been shifted. Stokes basically had his goal that he worked so hard, just canceled out immediately. It's the worst feeling when you give up an instant rebuttal.
Yeah, it's a swift reply, they call it in the industry, I do believe. 2-1 now, all to play for. Tekkz not happy with the fact that he went 2 down. And Tekkz is someone who, you have to remember, of course he's won a lot. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. He's already done so well this year. Arguably, better than anyone else will this year, with the exception of whoever goes on to win the grand final. However, he is someone who has a lot of pride in what he does, and he wants to be known as the best at every possible opportunity. And he takes these losses personally. He doesn't like it.
And he's also very critical of his gameplay, and I always preach this to everyone who's watching. You must be very honest with your gameplay. What are you doing well? Where do you naturally excel? Where do you struggle? And you want to cover up for where you struggle, or you want to improve in those areas while you maximize the potential that you have, whether that's skill moves, some of the build-up, some of the shooting, some of the possession play, whatever you're going to have an expertise in. But every time you talk to Tekkz, win or lose an event, he's ready to get back to work.
Can he go 2? Oh, here he does. He's equalised it just like that in the space of a few minutes. It's that man, F2Tekkz, back on level terms.
Tekkz being Tekkz with the Tekkers. You saw a scoop turn there. Let's revisit the skill moves, actually. So if you want to get involved with skill moves in FIFA, you need to learn the basics, the intangibles. Do not try to learn every skill move in the book. That's going to overwhelm you, and you're not going to be able to execute them instinctively in the right areas on the pitch.
What's the first skill move I should learn? Imagine, it's not that hard to imagine. I've never played FIFA before, and I need to know one skill move that's going to work 9 times out of 10. What is it?
I would start with the ball roll. Every single year the ball roll is relevant, and then from there I build into the drag back or the fake shot. All 3 of these are staple skill moves in every single FIFA installment.
And we're still seeing them used at this high level. And Tekkz is playing high-level FIFA right now. Kylian Mbappe trying to get that El Tornado cross, but he's edged out by Sergio Ramos.
And that play started with a fake shot, and you saw the ball roll into another combination of skills. That's another reason that you want to learn these staple skills, is because they combine with other skill moves in unique ways.
Okay. And then once you get them on lock, you can kind of develop into some slightly more sophisticated things. And
these skills are basic, and when I say they're basic, anyone on your pitch basically can do them. Everyone can do a ball roll. Everyone can do a fake shot.
Even the goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper can do a fake shot. I don't think he's going to get a ball roll. He's not going to pull that out for you.
We don't advise it, though.
I'm not recommending it.
Ronaldo on the right wing here for Tekkz. Lovely skill. Oh, he's just run that out of play, though. I thought he was going to keep it in.
Perfect example of Tekkz having this arsenal. I mean, there's just complete locker of skills that he could pull out in all sorts of different moments.
And Tekkz playing with a vim and a vigour that you'd expect him to be up with, because he's only actually drawing, but it's because he's come back from 2-0 down. He's feeling confident. He's feeling good. And he knows, he's going to have that break at half-time between the 2 legs that he loves to do to compose himself, to figure out his game plan. He knows all he needs to do is have a tiny sliver of a chance in the second leg, and that's enough for him. And he's got more than that at the moment. He looks like he might get a third here. Neymar trying to turn. What skill move was that?
He's going into a McGeady spin, and prior to the McGeady spin, it would be great if you could rewind this actually on the stream with Ronaldo out wide as hold on.
Can he take the lead just like that? Oh, it's a good
Had to have it. I was going to say that with Cristiano Ronaldo, he used the fake shot. And in this FIFA installment, you can use the fake shot and shield basically at the same time. You can choose where you exit on the fake shot, which is also an advanced skill set, and you don't really see it used that much online. It's mostly only used by the pros.
And of course, you can do the accelerated fake shot as well, which is something that I only really added to my kind of arsenal of very limited skills this year. I used to do fake shots, left, right, and centre, but now I can do them a little bit quicker. It's quite hard to catch you if you do accelerated fake shot at the right time, isn't it?
I mean, it's something that you want to have in your back pocket, especially if you're using a lot of through balls. It just allows you to take those through balls into space.
That's exactly what Rebel Stokes is trying to find here, space on the edge of F2Tekkz's box as he runs that ball out of play. It is Stokes with the throw-in now. 2-2, 5 minutes left in this first leg. All to play for between these two Goliaths of the UK scene. Dare I say world scene? I do dare say it. I said it. Pele. Hullet. Is he going to pass back to Pele? He is. There's a run, but it's well blocked by Patrick Vieira. And Pele. And Tekkz doesn't seem to be in a rush right now. He'll happily take this 2-2 scoreline into the second leg, considering the way it started. But some lovely La Croquetas from Ronaldo. Not one, not two, but three. That reminded me of that advert. Remember that advert when Ronaldo was just running through in the airport for Brazil? I think he might have done a few La Croquetas against some security bollards in the airport, actually. Mugged them off.
Looks like Stokes is going to have the final attack here.
And it is Hullet at left back for Stokes. Will he employ that same tactic in the second leg? Does he feel like it works for him? We're going to find out shortly as Vieira finds Luka Modric running into space. Big tackle from Ruud Hullet, and that's probably going to be all she wrote for the first leg. So it's even Stevens. 2-2 between Stokes and Tekkz. Second leg perfectly poised for a big performance, Mike. What do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to see more of the same. I don't expect either player to change anything in their game plan. I think Stokes had to be happy with some of the opportunities that he created. He played a very competitive match against F2Tekkz, and at the same time, Tekkz got back into it, so he's got to feel good going into the second leg.
I want to know what Tekkz does on his breaks. Where does he go? I'm fascinated by it because it works for him. In the second legs, he always, I could be wrong, but I think he comes back in these second legs reinvigorated and he finds something new. Is it a mind game? Is he trying to get in his opponent's head and think, where's he going? Why is he making me wait? I want to go and play. Maybe it's a better strategy to employ when obviously you're feeling like you're playing badly towards the end of a first leg and you want to slow down the momentum. But Tekkz was the one that had the momentum, and we can look back on how that first leg went here. Great start for Stokes. Look at the time on the clock. Not even 3 minutes gone. Finds space. Great first touch. 1-0 Rebel Stokes. Tekkz trying to get back in the game instantaneously here with a flicked up cross from Neymar. David De Gea comes and takes a hit in the face for his troubles, but punched the ball away from danger. Look at that first time cross in for Stokes, almost finding his target. And in the latter stages of the first half here, Tekkz with a lovely bit of skill. Cristiano Ronaldo, though, just maybe having a little bit of a face-off with the keeper and losing it in terms of positioning. Great turn this was from Tekkz. Look at all those skill moves, but Stokes was resilient in defence, and eventually in the second half he goes and doubles his lead. I think this is it. Kylian Mbappe running down the right side, waits for the right moment. Johan Cruyff with a left foot shot, making it 2-0, but Tekkz came back, didn't he, Mike?
Yep, he did. He showed you exactly what Tekkz is all about and why we never rule him out. If you talk to any of the analysts on the desk, if you talk to us, if we're doing a post recap, if I'm doing a breakdown, everybody says if Tekkz is losing, it doesn't mean that he's done. It doesn't mean that he's out. It doesn't mean that he's dusted. As you see the scoop turn, tucks it away. Second goal in 66 minutes. I thought that he was actually going to push on from here and get another goal towards the end. So I think Stokes did a good job of, like you said, being resilient and making sure that he battled back. He didn't lose mental composure in this match, and now it's everything to play for in the second leg.
Has that first leg changed any of your thoughts on what's going to happen overall in this game? Do you expect a different outcome now, or are you still thinking Tekkz is going to nick the victory?
I'm not going to start going against Tekkz at this point. He has so much experience being in the semifinals, being in the finals, playing on the big stage, and he just takes those moments. There's a reason that he's won 3 FUT Champions Cups. He's already had LQE. He's had the E Club. He's played. He's got the E Prem. He's won all these events because he's able to show up and show out in the big moments, when all the cameras are on, when everybody's watching the live stream, when we're talking about him. He wants that exposure. He wants to make sure that every bit of practice that he's put in at home is going to be able to be broadcasted in its finest.
And Tekkz is back from his break now, just getting himself set up for this second leg. Rolling the neck like he's going into battle, which he is, with Stokes. It's not an old rivalry, but it's a rivalry for the new modern era. F2 versus Rebel. And right now, it is perfectly poised. 2-2 going into the second leg. I'm sure there's fans of both teams that will be cheering on their boy. And I'm sure the neutrals want to see some high-quality FIFA. I think we saw that in the first leg. I think it was a little bit cagey at points, and maybe we'll see a little bit more open play in the second leg as if one person goes up and the other person needs to come back and get them. But Tom Stokes, we talked about, he's been on this scene for a long, long time. He has a lot of experience. He must have been in situations like this before. So he shouldn't be too fazed by the task of taking on an informed player like F2Tekkz.
And getting some credit to Tom Stokes as well to not dive in on a lot of these tackles, because that's something that Tekkz does so well with the skills. He sets them up in a way that makes you have to go for the tackle.
Speaking of skills, look at what he's doing with Neymar here. Just unfortunately losing the ball in the end after some fantastic work. Coming out the blocks fast, trying to get this lead. And that Gegenpress, that Jurgen Klopp play style that Tekkz is using here is working for him as he gets the ball back again off Stokes. Hullet has got a through ball option on there. Goes to Neymar. Now it's the other Neymar with the ball, but once again, Stokes dispossessed almost instantaneously. Tekkz is on a mission. He wants to get that ball back as soon as physically possible. As he plays it down the left side, looking for Neymar. Can Neymar keep it in? He flicks it over the head of the marker, but Vieira's too strong and gets it back for Stokes. Now he needs just to hold on to the ball for a little bit here, doesn't he?
It's tricky because Stokes is a player that does want to move the ball quickly, but versus an F2Tekkz, it would be in your best interest to limit how many possessions he's going to have. And the best defense is a great offense.
Something brewing here. It's a great tackle from Ruud Hullet on Mbappe. Ronaldo, lovely elastico to find some space. Neymar now on the ball. He's got Ronaldo running off him. Can he get the touch in front of the defender? He does, and he's taken down. And I mean, you could argue that was last man. I didn't think it would be a red card, and it wasn't. It was a yellow. But Mike, could you not suggest that that was perhaps taking someone that was through on goal down?
Rio's just got strong hands. You know, love touch.
The love touch. Yeah, the love sofa earlier. The love touch. I don't know what to think of you, Michael. I'll tell you what, though, it's 2-2, and that was a big moment in the game.
And you're now seeing the move as well, where you're going to have Ruud Hullet as a fullback. I almost feel like the Ruud Hullet fullback movement is partially because of the success that F2Tekkz has with the wing play and whipping in crosses, because it allows you to defend it much easier. Marcelo or Ruud Hullet, I know which one's going to get the job done in the air better.
Stokes with a chance from Mbappe, deflected, and it's the same tactic we saw Stokes employ against #Harry as well, who also loves the back post cross option. Luka Modric now on the ball. It's amazing that it's made its way through to Ruud Hullet there, eventually flicked back in by Modric, but Tekkz now can try and counter from this corner. Ronaldo, for a long ball attempt, looking for the other Ronaldo, R9 Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo, unable to bring it down. Ruud Hullet into Cristiano Ronaldo now for Stokes. Unable to find his man, and this game is very to and fro. Constant changes of possession happening. Sergio Ramos on the ball. Down the line now for Cristiano Ronaldo on this right side. Goes back to Ramos. You're not going to see many guys try and deliver with Ramos. Obviously, he's not really a right back in the game. They're using him out of position. I'm sure he's got decent crossing stats. Look at this man. Oh, I tell you what, that is beautiful. And you know what I love about that goal? It reminded me of R9 Ronaldo, the sort of thing he would do in real life. That was absolutely rolling back the years.
Oh, that was disgusting. Oh, that was filthy. My man, what magnificent. Insert a superlative here. It had everything you want. 3 different skill moves. Works it into the right place. De Gea can do nothing about it. Green time finish, 3-2, and he sends the message to Stokes. Are you ready to play with the big dogs?
That's a top quality goal. The kind of goal R9 was scoring around the 1998 to 2004 era. An era where I do believe, a lot of which Tekkz wasn't born for.
He's been watching highlights.
Exactly. Reminds you just how young this lad is and how much potential he has. Mbappe running through on the left side. Can he deliver? Oh, he beats his man. Tekkz is playing with real swagger right now.
If that would have hit the back of the net, are you kidding me?
What's changed? Suddenly Tekkz has just found this momentum. He's found this rhythm in his game.
I'm going to start implementing a bathroom break after the first leg from now on. I'm taking bathroom breaks after every game online.
I'm doing it at home.
League, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Whoever he's talking to, can we get that number?
Is he getting some advice? I don't know. I don't think he's got a coach here. Maybe he gets some advice from his fellow players. But something, whatever he's doing is working. Oh, it's a strong tackle, and it had to be perfect, and it was from Patrick Vieira. Going down in the box, always a risk. But he gets away with it, and Tekkz is looking strong right now. Stokes, a little bit like a rabbit in the headlights. because it's hard to stop. When he's playing like this, Tekkz, it's impossible to stop. In fact, look at this. This movement is unreal. Ronaldo still going, looking for a pass. Oh, it's unbelievable. That is FIFA.
The double drag back. Is there someone more creative in the box with the skills? I don't think so. It's so impressive. You can't predict what skill move's gonna come out. And we're not in that game. We're watching that game. I know every skill move in the game. It's not a flex. I just can't tell what he's gonna pull out. His arsenal is so deep.
It really is. Neymar with the easiest finish he's ever gonna have, but it was R9 again, instrumental in the build-up, who has come out of the blocks, fully firing for F2Tekkz. 28 minutes gone of this second leg on this Xbox console final here at the FIFA Ultimate Team Champions Cup 6.
Most people aren't able to put these combinations together, even if they're great players at home, comfortable, living room, office, bedroom, wherever you're playing. Yet alone to do this on the biggest stage, biggest moment, a game you need to win. It's not cagey at all for him. It's opened up. You can see that he's in full form. He's confident. When you see slide tackles inside the box, that's a showcase of confidence. These skill moves, wait for it. We're not done.
He's getting in behind at every opportunity right now. Mbappe to Hullet. Hullet to Vieira. Vieira back to Mbappe. This is lovely. Neymar, oh, the passing is so quick. Oh, it's unbelievable! And that's a massive save. That is a completely different goal to the one he was doing earlier, which was a skill-based goal. This was a passing-based goal with quick, very, very fast decision-making made in tight areas with players all around him. I can't describe what I'm seeing right now, Mike. Tekkz is quite simply on a mad one! And it's 3-0, and the crowd, there is a collective gasp in the Gfinity Arena. I think they're all admitting they're in the presence of greatness.
I can't believe what I'm watching. I'm speechless. What do you want me to do, man? This is impressive. I hope the chat is erupting. Twitter better be going. Everything better be going.
We've seen in recent times opposing fans stand up in stadiums and clap the likes of Messi when he does something amazing, despite it being against his team. You know what? I'm not expecting him to do this, and this is by no means, like, you can't even complain right now if you're Rebel Stokes, because you have to admit you're playing against someone that's unplayable. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tom Stokes stand up and just clap Tekkz at some point. Or maybe someone from the Rebel team, because you have to admit what Tekkz is doing is unbelievable.
He just took it up a level. Second leg, he just took it up to a whole nother level. Maybe a couple levels. He jumped ahead. You could see it with the way that he's moving the ball, the rhythm, how he's seeing the game. This could easily be 4-0 as well. He missed a tap-in where you saw the most intricate passing I've seen this weekend.
What has changed from this first leg? Why did we not see this Tekkz in the first leg? It's almost like he just likes to use that first leg to kind of suss out his opponent, see what he's got, play. It's like he has two different gears, two different levels he can go to.
I think he went downstairs and told Dosari, hey, watch this. I got something. I feel like this is a showcase for MS Dosari. A little preview.
And what a game that is going to be. The console final between, well, if he wins it, it's looking like he will, but Stokes is still very much in this game if he can get on the ball. But if he does win this game, Tekkz versus Dosari will be the Xbox console final everyone wants to see. Let's remember the context. Not only are these the two best players on Xbox in the world right now, fact, we have the leaderboards to prove it, but there has been that war of the words, the spice being left all over the Gfinity Arena. Dosari saying that no one will remember Tekkz if he doesn't win the grand final. I find that hard to believe when you watch performances like this. But then, of course, Tekkz saying he doesn't consider Dosari, despite being a world champion last year and someone who's won majors over the last 3 years, he doesn't consider him to be in the GOAT, the greatest of all time, FIFA player conversation.
And both F2Tekkz and MS Dosari are arguably the most popular professional FIFA players in terms of their social presence, their fan base, guys that tune in to watch them play, want to learn the game, want to see everything on display. So all the fans have been going back and forth this weekend. You stirred the pot, and I'm ready for, I guess I'm ready for dinner.
Would you, you're always ready for dinner. Would you say Tekkz versus Dosari is the Ronaldo versus Messi of the FIFA scene? Discuss.
I don't want to disrespect the PlayStation side, so on the Xbox end, most definitely.
Okay, we'll take that. And we don't want to disrespect Stokes either, who's still very much in this game. He's got 45 minutes to do that. And imagine if Stokes could come back in this game now. Bear in mind the FIFA that Tekkz is playing. What an achievement that would be. But it is Tekkz in the ascendancy here with the ball. One more goal would probably seal it for the youngster. But the more experienced, at least in terms of years and FIFA years, is on the ball again. Rebel Stokes cutting inside. Doesn't seem like he's got the same decision-making ability he had in that first game. He's snatching at things. He's maybe a little bit in awe of what he's seeing in front of him, and there's no shame in that. I would be. This guy and what Tekkz is doing to him is simply sensational. Ronaldo on the ball. Can Stokes get a goal just to make this that extra bit more interesting? Ronaldinho's got involved. Neymar trying to find space up against the yellow-carded defender, hits the shot, and there was no real venom on it.
I feel like Tekkz is in his head a little bit. He's missed a couple chances where it's more so that Stokes didn't take the opportunity properly versus good defending from F2Tekkz.
Modric on the ball, finds Ronaldinho. Can there be a little bit of Ronaldinho magic in this game to help Rebel Stokes get back in this tie, trying to find space? Rio Ferdinand, two strong tackles. Despite having a yellow card, Tekkz more than happy to get stuck in with the English icon. Vieira playing the ball down the right side for Cristiano Ronaldo to run onto. He's got acres of space out here. Going to play it inside to Kylian Mbappe, Team of the Year Mbappe, who's so strong despite losing the ball essentially. He managed to keep it. Vieira back to Ferdinand. Tekkz almost, it feels like he's playing with his prey right now. And I don't mean that to insult Stokes because he's been fantastic this tournament, but Tekkz isn't, I'm not sure he's human, Mike.
I actually feel bad for Stokes because I don't think Stokes played bad at all in this matchup. I think he's been good to go. Unfortunately, in the second game, he ran into prime F2Tekkz. This might be the best that I've seen F2Tekkz play in a single match. I know we still have 30 minutes left in this game, and I'm expecting Tekkz to start to play a little more possession, to start to try to close out this match and kill the clock a little bit. He does a really good job of time play towards the end of games, and it's important in FIFA to make sure that you can put your opponent under additional pressure where he does start to rush. He does start to sweat. He knows he has to go forward, he has to get a goal, he has to make a difference sooner than later.
Chance now for Ronaldinho if he can find some space. Tekkz's ability to close down is so strong. Well, that's fantastic play from Ronaldinho, who's unlucky really to get the ball stuck under his feet. And the other Brazilian, Marcelo, dispossessed him in the end. Hullet, great pass over to the left side for Mbappe to run onto. Chased down by another Mbappe for Stokes. Neymar looking to get space. Big touch from Maldini just to keep him away from danger. Ronaldinho now getting forward. He seems to be the man that anything's going to come through for Stokes at this point. Mbappe trying to return the ball to Ronaldinho, move through the middle. He finds Cristiano Ronaldo, back to Ronaldinho. A goal now would be huge. But Rafael Varane just sticks a leg out the way and says, not today, sir. Ronaldo back to Vieira. Mbappe into Ronaldinho. Can he get a goal? Oh, it's great closing down from Sergio Ramos. And anything Stokes tries, Tekkz has got an answer to right now.
He's just getting that last-ditch challenge time and time again.
Sergio Ramos. 17 minutes, just over that, left to play here. Stokes needs 3 goals if he's going to keep his hopes alive of winning an Xbox event. This is a semi-final here for the FUT Champions Cup. Ronaldo with a chance for Stokes. Can he find his strike partner? Over to Neymar, who can't turn. Ramos was on him like a rash. Ronaldo back to Ramos.
I would not want a Ramos rash if I could avoid that.
No.
On a side note.
It would probably go viral though if you got a rash that looked like Ramos. I mean, you see there's clips sometimes, people think they've got Mo Salah on their curtains. Mbappe, can he keep it in? He does. He's giving it to Maldini. Hullet. Ronaldo. Stokes needs a goal quick, and he's just put that ball too close to the Real Madrid centre-back, Rafael Varane, who's toying with him now, just keeping it in the corner, eventually sending it down the line. And Tekkz manages to play his way out of a difficult position, somehow riding that challenge as well. It's amazing, you know, when you're in a good run of form, you get that extra bit of luck, and that seems to be what Tekkz has right now. Ramos finds Ronaldo. Ronaldo, great pass into Vieira. There's one more on if he tries to play it. He goes to Ronaldo. He's just taking his time in the box. Oh, look at that footwork, unbelievable!
Oh.
And it's a good save from De Gea. Very close to getting a 6th goal and definitely ending this tie that I think could be over anyway.
Just silky smooth with the skills. Every time you think you know what's coming next, he pulls something out of the hat.
Marcelo, Varane, nice ball. Tekkz really can do it all. He can play the long game. You know, he can build up, he can do the crosses if he needs to. That's what makes champions, when you have a plan A, plan B, plan C. And Tekkz seems to have Plenty of them. Neymar, could he end it now? In style, as he plays it to Patrick Vieira, who plays it to Ronaldo, who flicks it over. I can't believe what I'm seeing. He meant that as well. He saw the keeper off his line, not even facing the goal. He's tried to chip him, and it would have worked if it wasn't for that pesky woodwork.
Yeah, it's like Tekkz always has a contingency plan, no matter who he goes up against.
Mbappe. Great flick, rainbow flick over his man. This is the Tekkz we saw last year. We were actually talking about this in the green room earlier about Lescott was saying who do we think is the most skillful player, and I said in terms of what he's got in his locker, it's got to be Tekkz, but he's actually probably evolved as a player to the point where he doesn't need to do it as much now. But in this situation is when we see it, Mike.
I mean, this entire game has been a skill move compilation, start to finish.
Put it on YouTube.
Yeah, you could upload this raw, no cuts.
Can Stokes get one back here? He deserves it, and it's great keeper movement from Tekkz to get the save as Stokes removes his headset, that beautiful Turtle Beach headset, because he knows it's over. There it is, the final whistle. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed an absolute display of pure, unadulterated skill from that man, F2Tekkz. I think there was a 10-minute segment in that second half that was probably the best FIFA I've ever seen played. Would you agree with that, Mike?
Like I said, I think that might have been the best game that we've ever seen out of F2Tekkz. And he's got some special games under his belt this year already. But if you want replay value, oh yes.